Pranams to all of you. What is stress? What actually is stress? There is so much of talk everywhere, all around the world, about stress. How to manage stress, how to overcome stress, what to do about stress, what is stress all about. And there are seminars, workshops, research going on. What is this all about? You know, our age, our present age, is a stress-related age. Stress and stress-related lifestyle. Anxiety-related activities. Boredom-related events. Look at our lives. Look at your lives. Even children, small children who are going to pre-KG, LKG and so on, they have their own tensions from the school, homework and what have you. Anything human beings have touched, stress has become inevitable. I mean, look at it this way. You know, to live a simple, stress-free, sane, peaceful, happy life is the most difficult in our present times. How difficult it is to be simple. How difficult it is to be relatively peaceful. Everything has become so stressful. You have this, you're under stress. You don't have that, you're under stress. You have that, you're under stress. You don't have that, you're under stress. You're married, you're under stress. Not married, under stress. You have a job, under stress. You don't have a job, under stress. You see, everything, every part of our life, right from childhood till maybe we take our last breath, every moment of our life, we have our own making. We have filled it with stress and stress-related activities and lifestyles. Look at our lives, look at your own lives and see what we are doing. So what is stress? What actually is stress? Management of stress later on, all that will come later on. What is stress? How do we understand this thing called stress, which is creating so much of havoc and chaos in the mind? How do we understand this? Where does stress come from? Where does it originate? So we will look into one or two simple definitions of stress. What is stress? One of the standard definition goes like this. Stress is a reaction to a demanding situation on the human body, mind, organism. Usual definition. All stress, another one. All stress is due to one's own belief systems, conditionings, and one's own attitude towards people, towards things, towards objects, towards everything. So what does that second definition say? It's all because of your belief system. It's all because of your conditioning. Human beings, human mind and brain, we have been conditioned for millennia. Day after day after day after day, conditioned by the society, conditioned by the environment, conditioned by the situation, conditioned by our own experiences, conditioned by our own belief systems. So, one of the definitions says that all stress, whatever category you put the stress under, is all because of your belief systems, all because of your conditionings, and all because of your attitude. Simple? The third definition, one more I'll go into it. What is the third definition? It says everything, including stress, everything depends on who is seeing or experiencing what, when, where, how, and why. Right? Significant? I'll repeat again. Everything, including stress and million other things, everything depends on who sees or experiences what, how, when, where, and why. You see that? So, where does stress come from? External? Outside? Can people make you stressful? Can situations give you stress? Environment give you stress? Where does stress come from? This is a very, very important question. Where does stress come from? Where does it begin? People classify, there is something called acute stress, there is something called chronic stress. Acute means short-lived because of a physical pain or an injury or whatever. Chronic stress because of anxiety and many other problems. So people go look into that way also. Acute stress, chronic stress. And if stress comes, what happens to the body? Physically, physiologically. It has its own reactions. Pupils dilate, BP goes up, digestion stops, goes on. I won't go into all that now. So many physical and physiological reactions when one perceives a person or an event or a situation as stressful. Now look at the word, perceive. Right? Where does stress come from? When one perceives. Right? Just a while ago we read out, everything depends on who is experiencing or sees what, how, where, when, and why. Same. So if you look closely, where does stress come from? This is once you really understand this, it becomes simple. If as long as you go on believing, as long as you go on thinking that stress, I am under stress because of that, this, A, B, C, D, people, situations, that is not all right, this is not all right, you are done. Right? Actually, stress does not come from outside. Yeah, we may say sources of stress, environment, workplace, family problems, and many, many other things. Right? One simple example. Let's say 2 people or 5 people or 10 people, they are in the same exact situation. Right? The situation is the exact same. And there are a group of people. How do you think they will react to that same situation? each person will react to the same situation completely differently. What is stress for me may not be stress for you. And what is stress for you may not be stress for another person. And what is stress for that person may not be stress for somebody else. Right? Watch this closely. Stress is a reaction, our perception, that's the right word. How you perceive based on your belief systems, your conditioning, your attitude, your experiences, your upbringing, and so many things. Right? Do we understand this? So, if you really watch closely, stress, though we say, external factors, sources, and so on, actually, stress is a reaction, a perception. So, actually speaking, where does stress come from? Where does it begin? Don't you think it is within? Right? To put it simply, to put it in a very, very simple way, where does stress come from? Right? 2 words. Everything depends on who is seeing what, where. We saw that. Perception, how you perceive. How person A perceives, how person B perceives, how that man perceives, this man perceives. Perception, how you look at things, how you experience things, how you understand. You. So where the original source of stress is in you, is in us, is in all of us. Stress is not outside. Yeah, you may say, because of that I am under stress, because of this I am under stress. Ask another person, no, that's not stressful at all. Each person's reaction, each person's response is completely different. Therefore, what we call stress is an inside factor. Nothing outside can actually give you stress. Please understand this clearly. Nothing, not a thing from outside can make you stressful. Right? Do we see this? Not the environment, not the people, not situations, not that person, this person, not money, not economy, not wealth. None of those. It all depends on you. How mature you are, how much you have known and understood yourself. So to take the further the statement a little more, where does stress come? I'm asking the same question. Where does stress begin? If it is inside, within you, within us, then where? In the body? No. Thinking. The source, the primary, the ultimate source of stress is thought. Though I am pointing my finger at the head, thought is not just in the head, everywhere. Right? Thinking. The process of thinking, the movement of thinking is the primary source of stress. Thinking is stress. Thought is stress. Do we understand? So what's the solution then? Stop thinking? And who is to stop thinking? Can thinking, the process of thinking, the movement of thinking, stop? Who is to stop? Me? You? Who are you? Who am I? What am I? What are you? Again, watch closely. Right? So if thinking, thought is the primary source of stress, how do we manage stress? And all of us know when stress comes, when we perceive a situation or whatever as stressful, there are physical reactions, there are physiological reactions, emotional reactions, psychologically we react. So many things are going on at the same time. Your behavior changes, fear comes in, anxiety, depression, right? Obsession. I can go on naming. All this happens. Why? Our perception, how we look, how we experience, how we look at things and everything. I am the primary source of stress. Thinking is the source of all kinds of stress. So finally, what is the solution? Coming to management of stress. I know it's a wrong word, but unfortunately we are stuck there. How do we manage stress? How do we cope up with stress? What do we do? As an individual person, each of us are so unique and so different. Our reactions are completely unique and different. How am I? How are you to look at stress and manage stress and cope with it, and if possible, dissolve stress? So you don't have to look outside. Within. Can I know myself? Can I understand myself? Can I know and understand the thinking process, the various thoughts? Can I observe them, watch them? As if I am watching a movie, non-judgmentally. I don't go on condemning or justifying. Just watch, simply watch. In Sanskrit, there's a beautiful word, aham bodham, self-awareness. You are aware of what's going on. So when the mind, when the thinking process is watched, observed, without judging, you simply observe, intensely observe, then you will notice thinking, the movement of thinking slows down, quietens down. The more aware, the less thinking. And when awareness is at its height, intense awareness, thinking stops. You don't stop thinking. You cannot stop thinking. I cannot stop thinking. No one can. Observation, awareness, self-awareness, does that work? So through self-awareness, knowing and understanding yourself, thoughts, thinking slows down, becomes quiet. The more you know yourself, the more you understand yourself, the more you understand what's going on within you, the less there is noise in the mind. Mind becomes quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter, becomes peaceful. And we have to use the word time. Over a period of time, the mind becomes very, very quiet. And when the mind becomes quiet, silent, still, not because you have controlled, not because you have manipulated, not because you have suppressed, no, just through observation, by watching, because you want to understand what's going on. There is no goal to be reached. This is not an ambition. This is not an achievement. This is simply watching, observing, to find out what is going on. I want to know what's going on. right? Like a good, genuine scientist, like a rishi, like a sage, you're watching to find out what is happening. And when you watch intensely, observe, aware, mind becomes quiet. And in a silent mind, where is stress? Right? The mind of a Buddha. Whatever happens in the environment, whatever people say or not say, nothing touches that. Right? Therefore, what have you understood? Stress is within. How we perceive, from where we perceive, how do we look at things? It all depends on how grown up you are. Psychologically, not physically, of course, psychologically. How mature you are. How much you have understood yourself, known yourself, seen yourself. So, understanding stress is an inside factor. Managing stress, coping stress, or dissolving stress is also an inside matter. So things like, for example, we often talk about stress busters. So for a normal layman, ordinary common man, what do you say? So do something, right? Exercise. Do yoga, do pranayama, do stretches, go for a walk, be with nature, watch a lovely, inspiring movie, talk to friends, right? So many things. Listen to music, good music. Sit quietly, watch your mind. There are so many ways, hundreds and hundreds of stress busters. Drink a lot of water, take care of your food, take care of your sleep, right? There are so many things. Meditation, not the real meditation. Meditation, it is not a doing, it is not an activity, it is being. But the beginning, right? Try to focus your attention, do japa, right? Watch your breath, with chanting or without chanting. There are so many ways where you can draw your mind 180 degree, turn your mind 180 degree within yourself and look at yourself. There are so many ways it's available. So one has to use all that. Whatever works for you, take that, use that. But the most important, work on yourself. You are the most important. To know and understand yourself is the most important thing in life. And once that journey of discovery begins, all these things called stress and so on doesn't touch you, cannot touch you. And then life becomes simple, peaceful, joyous. I'm not using the word happy because happiness is a transitory phase. Joy. A joy which has no cause. Right? Have you understood? Good. Thank you. Pranams.